we talked about it a couple weeks ago that Travis Kelce is potentially gone. But no, you said, give him some time to make his decision. Guy's not going to want to go out that way. And per Brett Veach, straight from the mouth of Babes, straight from the source himself, Brett Veach said yesterday that Travis Kelce is coming back and he's fired up to play. So here's Brett Veach on Travis Kelce.
Travis communicated to us that, he had every intention on playing. And as far as a deadline, I just spoke with our local media. We're anticipating Travis playing and coming back and hopefully having a great season to potentially end an unbelievable career. If that changes, then it changes. The one question was knowing what you'd have to spend for. Well, if he's not here, that will get rolled over. So,
yeah.
We're heading into this offseason with a plan in place that has Travis included, and if that changes down the line, we'll adapt and adjust, and that will be something that we'll utilize in the future. But again, I would anticipate him playing.
Are we playing next year? To my source says, and message was, my dog! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point. I'm coming back for sure. Going to try and get to the best shape I've been this offseason and get back to the mountaintop. Got a real bad taste in my mouth with how I played in that last game and how I got the guys ready for battle. I can't go out like that. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, and guess what? One more exclamation point.
Huge. So they also, so Brett Veach pretty much confirmed that they will be paying him his final year of his contract. This is Travis Kelce's last year, and he's about $18 million against the cap. They will be paying him that, and he's deserved that. And the guy's been taking discounts his entire career. Other guys in the team will probably have to, play with their money to, create some more space for other guys. But Travis will be playing out his final year of his deal. To JD, nothing better than getting a source directly from the general manager. I thought Travis was going to go on his show and say he was coming back, but the general manager coming out and saying it, pretty good. It's not like Nate Taylor's great, but Brett Veach is better when it comes to these kind of breaking this kind of news. But obviously, it's his end of his deal, or it's his last year of his contract, probably his last year, a retirement tour. We saw beginning of last year there was. We were talking about, Travis isn't getting any targets. He's not getting any catches. Rashid Rice was eating all that up. We obviously, things changed a little bit when Rashid Rice gets hurt. Xavier Worthy had to grow up a little bit faster. But going into next year, we'll have Rashid Rice back. We'll have Xavier Worthy. We'll have Noah Graham. Maybe other guys will bring back. In this last year, what kind of role do you think Travis Kelce will have in this last year? And how do you think they'll kind of let him ride off into the sunset? What kind of guy do you think he's going to be? What do you think last year? Let's go balls out. Let's go. Let's use Travis till the wheels fall off, like he always says.
I don't think it's going to change too much from what he's done. Why would it? If you're able to get a Travis Kelce back here, and then with a Rashid Rice, and then Xavier Worthy, and then of course we was talking about Hollywood Brown. Who else you going to sign with that? He's just going to keep doing what he's been doing. He may not have their yak yards, but he's still going to be able to make the catches. He's still going to be able to get open. I don't think any of that changes. So it's just going to be another year for him. That's it. The thing is, I think he's going to go out on a shield. And he's going to make sure that he goes, like Nana Sherry says, revenge era or farewell era. I think it is this if this is his last year, he's going to go out on a blast. That's his thing. He's going to try to win it all. And I know he was disappointed what he showed in his last Super Bowl. And I know it was eating at him because he's a champion. He's a winner. He didn't want to go out like that. He felt like that might sully his legacy a little bit. Really. So for him, hey man, shoot, bring it on. If Brett Veach is sitting there saying for sure that they're going to do that, still waiting on Trav to make it official too. Pen to paper. We gotta make sure.
And that's where the New Heights episode drops, where he says he's officially coming back. But Brett Veach is the best thing.
Best thing, man. Listen, look. If he says it, okay, I'm trusting it. Still want to make sure. Hey, I said, man, the guy he can make a decision on his career anytime he needs to. Okay, and right before March 10th or 12th, whatever it is, before it counts against the cap, it's still up in the air. So, like you said, from the horse's mouth. This is one part of it. The official one will be from Travis. But I said this. I think he would have came back, this year at least one more time. So let it be going to all the stadiums, different places, man. They're throwing his flowers. Let Taylor Swift sing a song every stadium she's in. Do a little concert for everybody. Was on his farewell tour. So I love to see it, Marcus. I love to see it. So
2 weeks ago, two weeks ago when he had that episode talking about potentially, hanging it up, he didn't know, whatever. And then 2 weeks later, you had Brett Veach drop this bombshell here, or not bombshell, when we expected him to come back for at least one more year. And Brett Veach also said this too. I'm seeing someone in the comments say this, that Travis didn't want to go out with, playing with the flu. He said, we don't make excuses, but Travis is dealing with a big illness. It kind of makes sense because watching the film back, it does make sense. I'm not trying to excusing him, but it does make sense. He was dealing with something. And everyone apparently at Super Bowl, media members, players were dealing with flu-like symptoms, stomach bugs. There was a lot of stuff going around at the Super Bowl, so I would not be shocked.
No, I agree with it. I think I said the same thing. I said, man, it looked like he was dealing with something. We knew, who was it that was it Jalen Carter? When the Eagles was dealing with it a few days before then, he probably recovered and got, fluids and stuff in him. Enough time to come back for, the Super Bowl. And so those guys might have just started hitting our team a little bit later, right? Because you're all around the guys and, it's flu season. Makes a lot of sense. But he did. He looked like he was drained. He looked like he was in a game, like physically. He just didn't look like he was moving around like he wanted to. I've had the flu before, like, trying to play, man. And you try to just hydrate yourself, do everything you possibly can. It's almost impossible to do those things. We talked about, obviously, when Jordan, the flu game he had, remember Pippen him, holding him up and stuff, so I think it's a little bit more demanding game physically in football than it is in basketball. So, that's tough. That's tough. And the one play that comes to my mind was the time that Patrick was running around for his life, and Travis was just kind of standing there, kind of watching it. And I was like, whoa, like, what is going on? So, no, it made a whole lot of sense, and I'm sure other people might have had a little touch of it as well. So,
yeah, Mahomes did sound congested in his post-game interview, but maybe he was just, gassed from running for his life all game.
Yes, Marcus, but that's why I hate the whole, the media circus that's down there, man. You run into everybody. Everybody's touching you. Everybody's coming in asking you questions. Like, it's almost like you can't, you can't avoid it. I love the whole thing that, when it was up in Vegas, those guys was away from everybody. He had to drive to the hotel and stuff, away, because down here, everybody's not on top of you. You can kind of control the guys a little bit better. So, yeah, the barbershop said that the whole team played like it had a flu. You ain't kidding. Once it hits the locker room, everybody starts feeling it, So
yeah, that's why it was such a big deal during COVID, where it's like that's why they had so many protocols, because like you said, like once it's a locker room, that's going to spread fast. That's why NBA teams there's games where guys they had like 10 dudes sitting now, they had to like call up their entire like a G League team to come up and play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mike Brennan, I thought the Eagles were using the flu's excuse for Carter to have him not walk, not have him not talk to the media. They didn't want all the questions about his teammates' death right before the game. I mean, he's talking about his Georgia, the car racing stuff that one of his players. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they didn't want they just didn't want the distraction of having to talk to the media before the game. Maybe.
Listen, I think the media, if that was the case, they would have controlled it anyway. Like, hey man, look, he's having a hard time. He really doesn't want to talk. We don't have to use an excuse for something like that. I know if I was the media person, I'm like, listen, he's having a hard time right now. Give the guy a break. He don't need to talk. You just had to deal with it. You just had to deal with it. If you want all your ire and anger and stuff to come to me, let me have it. Okay? But this guy right here is not talking. He's not having a conversation with y'all. Okay? So kick rocks. So.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I'm excited to have Travis Kelce back. And it's a great way to start, the combine and the offseason, knowing that he is coming back for his farewell tour. And like you said, I do love seeing this because you usually see this in basketball where guys let it be known before the season, hey, I'm retiring after the season. This is it. And they go to every stadium, they get a little display of a little jersey or something at wherever stadium they go to and stuff. But having this in the NFL, pretty cool because we were talking about it earlier, JD, Gonzalez, we didn't know that was his end. His last game in Atlanta, that was it. We found out a couple weeks later that he was retiring after that. It was kind of sad for some Chief fans who still love TG, which many of us do, but there's some who whatever. But again,
I wish Tony had a chance to come back and retire as a Chief. That'd have been perfect. But we had a little bit of a conversation before some of this stuff. But anyway, I think sports fans could tell people how they feel about Travis. You could show your affinity for him, right? And I'm sure he'll get a great reception regardless of where he goes. Like, how would you not? Okay. I get people are tired of, maybe it's Taylor Swift, all those different things, right? That's something they had to deal with. But when you see a guy come out here and play his heart out, the things he's been able to give to the game, you have to respect him, give him his flowers, right? I mean, that's just being gracious as far as fans, really. So love him or hate him, man. Shoot. Why not do it? Why not do it?
In terms of your medicals, what are those conversations been like with the team setting? Have you met with the Chiefs yet?
I met with them at the Senior Bowl, yes, sir. They just asked for my medical history. Nothing too crazy. But I feel like the injuries that I've had has molded me into the man I am today. Just that adversity I had to face, all the rehab, all the, days there where I didn't feel like doing it. I went in and I thought, how's the future you going to think? So, I went in and did it, and I'm here now. I can do it all. I'm really just a big receiver when it comes to the pass game. I'm fast, I'm quick, I can move. And then also in the run game, I can throw my head around too. I like to get physical, get dirty in the trenches. I like to borrow a lot of different things from a lot of different people, but my main guys are the Miami guys. Those are the main guys that I watch. Jimmy Graham, Greg Olsen, Jeremy Shockey, David Njoku, even Kellen Winslow. There's a lot of Miami greats that I was able to take after. I went through a lot of adversity with the injuries and everything, but just keeping my head down, being able to stay persistent. I taught my attacking the rehab, but you got to think, future you is not going to care how you feel right now. And that's what brought me here today.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.